Welcome back to the RedHawk Hoops Report. Luke West Poley, joined by the head coach of the Miami RedHawks, Glenn Box. Coach, pretty light week for you guys last week, and now this week you got what you call the coach's dream on the show last week. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm great, Coach. Thanksgiving holiday, smack dab in the middle of a practice week for you guys. What have you guys kind of been up to over these last few days?
We've been practicing a lot, trying to get better offensively. Obviously, tune some things up defensively, but right now our offensive execution has been a something that we've really been trying to zero in our focus, and I feel like we're growing, we're getting better. I think our team is getting a better understanding of the things that we need to do offensively more consistently. So I think that so far it's pretty much been a success.
Going back to your guys' game last Friday, Division 3 Hiram, 56-point win for you guys. Again, non-D1 game, got to go pretty deep into the bench, got to give a lot of players minutes. Nobody got more than 25 minutes in this game. So, what were your thoughts on the game on Friday?
I thought our kids did what we needed to do. I felt like defensively we got off to a slow start, but I think that once we picked up our intensity level, I don't know, once we kind of got, I don't know, remotivated, probably the end of the first quarter into the second quarter, I felt like our kids really stepped it up and did what they were supposed to do. It was important that we got to play our bench. Those kids needed minutes. Not to mention Nuria, she needed minutes. Just more experience. As more experiences we can give these kids, the better, I feel like. Again, they're still young. They're still trying to find their way, but at the same time, we don't really want to hold it as an excuse. We just want to give them some time. So it was as far as being a success, it was as successful as it could be, that game.
Camille Jackson, season high in points, season high in field goals attempted, just looked significantly more confident, it felt like, with her takes to the basket than we had
Yeah.
seen in her previous three appearances. What was different, you think, for her on Friday?
I just think that she was doing less thinking. She was more in attack mode. Our kids did a good job on some easy finishes, easy drop-offs for her, but I do feel like she was a lot more aggressive than she normally is. And it's something that we see sporadically. We don't see quite as bit enough, hopefully she could get this, you know, get some confidence from this game and really push forward. She too has been practicing pretty well, even since that game, and we need her. We need her bad. She's got the capability of guarding some of the better guards in our league. And so we need her to take that next step, offensively so that we can look forward to utilizing her and at some important junctures this season.
Just looking at the slate you guys have coming up, you got four of your final five games here in the calendar year away from home. A couple true road games coming up, and then the neutral site tournament coming up just before Christmas. And you're dealing with Thanksgiving right now, and you'll have finals week coming up, and a lot of off the court distractions and things that I'm sure you guys are kind of working through. So, what do you think is the most important thing for your team, just holistically over this next month?
That's a very good question. I think just staying consistent and the way to be consistent is to remain motivated. Seasons get really long, so there are times when things can be boring in practice. There are times where it's kind of tougher than others to stay motivated to get through practices and workouts and perform at a high level. Our kids they have to remain motivated in what they're doing. And I think that's really, really important because we're not where we need to be. So we need to work as often, as much as possible at an optimal level, And so we need these kids in the worst way to bring it every single day, And, these games are coming up, as they come up, they're going to be tough, and staying ready is big, whether it's practice or just staying ready for these games, and because the way that our roster is right now, everything's fluid. And what I mean by that is, we like to play the kids that are practicing well. We need these kids to give us confidence, and that carries a lot of weight in those decisions, when we who decide who's going to play in that particular game. So it's important that they stay motivated.
One game for you guys coming up this week. It comes all the way on Sunday. Again, you have a lot of time to prepare for it, but Western Kentucky team that at the time of this recording here on Monday afternoon is undefeated right now at 5-0. They'll play on a couple days against Tennessee State
Yeah.
at home before they take on you guys. But this is a team that year in year out is one of the better mid majors in the entire country. You got to see that you saw them before at Millett Hall previously, but what are kind of your impressions of Western Kentucky?
Well, their trio of guards are really good. They're high major quality guards, and so they're led by them. They have a transfer post player from Hungary. She's been a great addition for them, and their four player has been, she's been getting, some. I think Josie Gilvin, she's been giving them really good minutes as of late, and I think um, their coach does a great job with that team. They know who they are. They have a true identity. They run the same similar system every year. It's pretty similar every year what they do. And it's important that we play our game when we go into there. We don't get caught up in their game. We certainly have to take care of the basketball better. They do a great job of turning live ball turnovers into buckets, and that's the springboard to their success. Their presses and their activity defensively. Their ability to shoot lanes and be super active on the ball. So we've got to take care of the ball better than we've been, and it's going to be a good test, a good road test for us, but we'll be ready.
Talking about those turnovers for a little bit, you guys are had you have had a lot of turnovers as a team, but you're forcing more of them. I know we've talked about this at nauseum, it feels like at this point, but uh, how to what degree, I guess, are you guys okay with playing fast and kind of having a lot of turnovers if you're also then going to force turnovers on the other side?
I'm never good with turnovers. I literally, if I didn't watch myself, I'd give myself a heart attack just worrying about turnovers. So, but at the same time, we are a young team. Last year's team was a brand new team. This year's team is a brand new team. When you look at our kids, Tamar's a freshman. You look at Angelina, she didn't play at all last year. She's a sophomore. Nuria's a sophomore. And so when you look at our personnel, they're still, even Ilsa's got a bunch of turnovers. So they're still trying to figure out the game, at this level. And not to mention we have a new offensive system and, the speed is different, obviously, for the freshmen. So long story short, we're gonna turn the ball over right now early. It's just part of it for us, you know. But we're gonna get to a point where I'm very confident when we're not gonna turn it over as much. When that day comes, we're gonna be really, really good, But right now, it's like with these kids, you just gotta live with it. You gotta allow them to make their mistakes. You have to allow them to play through stuff. And because at the end of the day, I have a lot of confidence in their end game, which is they're going to be pretty good, So, there's going to be games like this that's going to be a real test. It's going to really challenge us and our abilities to take care of it. And I do think over time we're going to be really good. But till then, we got to do our best. Sometimes we got to sit back, got to live with it. You know, as frustrating as it is, I can't get silly about it. I don't even want to talk about it that much because it's like it's not really in my control. It's like just something that only time's going to truly help. So, I just got to stay patient. Our staff has to stay patient. But it's gonna work itself out. These kids are gonna get old quick, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Statistically, your guys' rebounding numbers are kind of jumping off the page right now. Of course, the opponents you've played over the last couple of weeks probably has something to do with that, with the size advantage you guys have had.
Yeah.
over a couple of these last few games. But maybe just from what you're seeing on tape and accounting for who you're playing against, how do you think you guys are doing in that department right now?
There are a couple kids that I still have some frustration with, that aren't rebounding the way that they need to rebound, and they hear it from me constantly. And when that happens, I think that we're going to be a really, really good rebounding team. We have kids like, obviously Amber's doing her thing, but there's opportunities out there to be had for other kids to get some rebounds. The good news is, we've been shooting over 40%, knock on wood, pretty much every game. So you don't have as many opportunities, when it's like that, from the offensive end. But I think our guards are more than capable of rebounding. Nuria is, her numbers are kind of misleading. Ange needs to be better rebounding the basketball. Tamar needs to be better rebounding the basketball, but they're fully capable. As a whole, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about 6.5, because I just feel like we should dominate, and we don't always necessarily just dominate. So I'm still waiting on a couple kids to really, get to that next level.
Well, Coach, we got the Thanksgiving holiday coming up later this week. So what's on the Box family menu? I'm wondering.
Well, we're giving our kids off a couple days. Our team's going to be gone, Wednesday, Thursday. My wife doesn't want to go anywhere. I know these kids see me all the time, and I like to have my kids over, but this time I think Coach JR is going to have the kids over. Some of the kids that are going to be around, some of our kids are going home and they're hosting some of their teammates. So it's just going to be real leisure, lay back, sit with my wife and my daughter and just kind of hang out, and keep my batteries recharged, or recharge my batteries, because Friday's a big day. That's a big practice day. And I need to be at my best. So I'll be resting those 2 days.
Stress level is going to be low for this Dallas Cowboys game on Thursday.
I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what we're doing right now, my Cowboys, man. I didn't watch a single down, and then I see we win. Like, we can't even do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even understand what we're doing right now. Like, so Jerry's got me. I have no idea what we're doing. I have no idea what we're competing for. I don't, so that's a whole nother conversation. I have a growing level of frustration with my Cowboys. So, but right now, major focus is, on our team, and we're just trying to take that next step. So that's really taking a lot of my attention. So, and we're ready to take that next step. We just gotta be better. We gotta take care of the ball. Gotta make layups. That's another thing. We missed a lot of layups, against Austin P, which was the difference in blowing the game open and, making it as tight as it was. So, but there are things that we can, that's something we can control. Our kids can improve there. So,
RedHawks are in action coming up on Sunday on the road. That's the only game between this and our next episode coming up the following Monday. It's a 3 p.m. Eastern start against the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Game will be on ESPN Plus and the Miami Radio Network. Coach, till next week.
I,
Appreciate you, man. Thanks.
man, I appreciate you, Luke. Thank you, man.
Tune in next week to the Red Hawk Hoops Report. Thanks for being with us.